a delay there. We can't tell it's not Mercury retrograde. Okay, let's take a look at the Divine Masculine's energy and what we see coming up for them. Okay. Crowning energy. We have this individual this week going through a change, both emotionally, physically, and psychologically. They're viewing the context of their life. They're quite baffled, actually. They're sort of like looking at life and going, okay, in the context of my love life, where the heck am I going? And it's like they're putting pressure on themselves. I need to know where I'm going. Am I coming? Am I going? And it really does make sense, especially with the eclipses we had this month, Mercury and Venus retrograde, feeling, we already moved through Mars retrograde. Okay, that was hard enough. And then we had to move through this. And Divine Masculine here in the mix is really within their identity, resetting the course to their value system. And it's almost like they're not wanting to make the wrong decision. But the funny thing is they are coming back to it. They keep coming back to a circumstance that it feels it feels like they know what they need to do, okay? And this is sometimes the right choice is hard. This was a conversation I had with an individual who was having a reading with me, and we were trying to work out how to decipher between, what is a reality and, how to really interpret what they're sensing. Sometimes when we're stating something, it's like we're trying to convince ourselves. Other times when we keep coming back to a circumstance, we may know where the problem is. We may know what the problem is. We may be avoiding the problem. So this person does know what those areas are. They aren't apprehensive because they're unsure, a bit like the Fool card in Tarot, where life is going to take them and if there's going to be a positive outcome. And I do feel for some, it can be that there is a window of opportunity here with Divine Feminine, be it they've discussed this with you or not, it's how they're feeling. And they're almost like on the edge of a cliff and they're standing there and they're like, I have to take a leap of faith. There has been a lot that they directly have gone through in the past. And as we look to the past, their past card is all to do with Chiron, healing, very much linking to Virgo. We had the eclipse in Virgo. And currently Chiron is sitting in the house of Aries. We had the eclipse in Aries. This is moving to the past position. So whatever they're moving through, wherever they feel physically, emotionally, psychologically, that they're quite stuck or they're like, I don't want to make the wrong decision. I may have to be the bad guy here. They're also taking into account their own feelings and what they've directly endured. And it's funny because in the heart of it, head and heart decisions, the heart chakra, and this part is in the heart position, focus on the light. And we have the sunflower. We have the individual holding light, which is very much near the face, linking to the third eye. This person, in a sense, in the context of their life moving forward, there is a head and heart decision. The heart is speaking, but the head may be confusing the circumstances. The heart is actually giving them a hand. And what do I mean by that? It can't lie to you. It expresses the true nature of how you're feeling, regardless of whether you feel it's appropriate. This person is having a head and heart decision. They know what the right choice to make is, and it might be by society standards or by themselves also as a distinct possibility. So I don't think this is going to lead them astray because I do think it's going to nag them till they address it. They do feel that in order to get through this, They're going to have to confront their demons. They're going to have to walk through a dark tunnel. And, you know, sometimes these difficult choices are going to pay off in the long run. That's how they're showing it to me. We then have the Death card. A time of natural transition. I don't know why I heard tsunami. And transformation. Whatever this is, it does feel quite large. It's like coming in like a wave. It's quite large. It's a slingshot effect. It's moving and pivoting things forward. And, you know, this could be making this person very anxious. This could be making this person feel that if they don't do something soon, I do sense the Tower, but sometimes it can be that we decide to bring the Tower down. You know, universe brings things in threes. You have the aha moment, you have the near miss, and then it's right there is a choice, right? And in the choice, if we give our power away and it's not divinely guided and we haven't set our course, very similar to the crown energy, because they're like, okay, what way do I go? I'm not sure about this. They're going into the heart space. We look at the top row. You know, they've moved through some healing. They've moved through some dramas. And like, okay, I need to wipe these, you know, issues away. I need to proceed forward. I know where I'm going now, but I know to get there, there could be some significant endings happening, and that can be very relieving for some, especially if you're actually naturally moving into it and taking control of the things that you feel need to come to an end, need to die away. These can be personality traits, feelings, physical circumstances. Something is coming to a full close here. And they also know that by doing such, there's no turning back. But sometimes the hard choice is the right choice. It's coming. They're wanting me to get the interpretation of this card correct. There's a few things they're wanting to say with it. The card is in reverse. It connects to a 9. We're on a 9 year, I believe. Say what you mean. Now, the card's in reverse, and I'm noticing a masculine and a feminine on the card. This has been delayed. There's some regrets of things that haven't been said. But there's something in their body language that's going to express this quite largely. It's very common in an awakening. And I feel this is something that the divine masculine is going through quite aggressively. Sometimes, you know, we can be extremely 3D. Other times we can be in the ascension process. Some can be through that trauma, going through dark night of the soul. They're jumping in the deep end. They're like, you know what? I've spent all this time thinking, healing, trying to get everything perfect, trying to get my ducks in a row. What do? Left or right? This person is unsure whether they're going to get what they want. They know that there is an emptiness without the divine feminine, but they also know that they have to jump in the deep end and throw caution to the wind. It's actually very frightening for them. But they also feel it is the hard choice is going to be the right choice. They're almost saying this is worth the sacrifice. This for me is the sacrifice. And if it means I'm living authentically, and if it means I'm living in a space of I miss you, I can't be with you, I'm solo, I'm able to live that way because it feels authentic to me. They also do feel without you there is an emptiness, and they're trusting the process that you might feel that too. They're wanting to fill that void. They're no longer willing to live without trying. And that's what I'm hearing. It's almost like, oh, if I have to live without you, I will live with you in my heart. Even though that emptiness may kill me, it's almost like they're still leaving the door open for that possibility. But what they're not willing to do at this point in time is look away from a truth that feels authentic to them, because that to them is death. We're going to go into clarifying and seeing what else our guides want to show us. Oh, things are jumping out. Yep, distinct ending. It is coming in quite quick. For the masculines that are watching their energy through this video, if you are quite baffled by, how can I explain it? It's almost like whatever this is coming up out of you, please do trust your own instincts. Don't discount your own personal feelings and energy. I feel that the doors are opening for you. I feel that whatever this funk is that you're moving through, it's very temporary. Where you're coming from, trust me, it feels like 2.5 seconds. It still may be difficult, but whatever you're moving towards, addressing, tackling, what is truly yours will never die. Some of you can be angry at time and you're trying to seize the moment. Ooh. It's really weird. It's almost like, have I told you lately that I love you? It's weird in that sometimes what does frustrate them, especially for those that are really not openly communicating about that, their body language, their attitudes, the texting, the communication, whatever's been in the past, it has been very real for them. And they are a bit cross. They're like, you know what? I do need to show my divine feminine how I love her, how I love them. This is something quite serious where they want to take this connection. For some also, again, I do get last week's energy really returning this week. If they are in a karmic relationship, I do see the end of such. I do see this courage and conviction, and I always did say mid-year would be a significant turnaround for all individuals, masculines, feminines, and for the karmics, for good or bad. But I definitely do see this to be positive. I see this to be quite bold. I see them having revelations that, continuing on the same path can only cause disaster. They may be keeping things quite close to their chest. And, some situation is no longer their wish. They're moving away from it. And I feel emotionally, spiritually, and financially they're going to gain from this. I do feel if there was a white lie crossing the karmic and it has been, sort of affecting them, I feel that is coming back to them, but in a positive way. It's almost like finances can come back to them. There could be some emotional upheaval in relationship to it, like was I my own worst enemy? How did I get myself into that circumstance? But they're definitely referencing a white lie a person has told and it coming out into the open. And I don't think this is the causing factor. I do feel this person in general is quite disconnected. This also can be quite relevant to those already in separation away from a karmic. An old circumstance and gossip can come out. Now, do I think it's gossip? No, I think it's quite official. What do I mean by that? It could be a letter. It could be something to do with paternity. alimony. It feels something more official. And it coming into, I'm hearing the term fine print. Almost like something's going to go in their favor and they needed to do nothing. Because it's like a cycle, as a white light has been broken. This is actually freeing the divine masculine to set their course on their new path. But initially, I think they're quite taken back by it. They may kind of revert back to this emotional trauma, but realise this is done and dusted. They've addressed this. They already had an inkling to do with this, and it's something that no longer defines them. They're really and truly jumping in the deep end like the Fool card in Tarot, and they're running towards the divine feminine. However, what I do see is they're being open that regardless, they want to give this a shot. We will check in with this energy next week. If you do want to come through and join our membership, all the information is directly below for readings, the membership list, and more. We'll see you next week.